Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you see my face for the first time, my name is Lawyer Susan, and today I am super excited to share with you my experience for the third stage Open Door Scholarship, basically the interview. In a few days time, which is next week Wednesday, they are going to publish the names for those that will make it through to the third stage of the Open Door Scholarship, which is the interview for those that are applying for the PhD and postdoctoral track. So you can find certain information on the website now to help you out. Just go to your subject track. Once you click on your subject track, you'll see the list of research supervisors. You also find the structure of the video presentation, and you also find the program of the interview with the heads of research, just basically telling you what you should be expecting. So first of all, so let me start now. At this point, you cannot do anything, right? Immediately once you make it to the third stage, your name is published as among the successful participants. You cannot do anything in the first stage of the interview. Why? Because there are a list of supervisors that have been published in your field. So what that entails is that they are going to look at the SOP you submitted. They are going to look at the course you studied. They are going to give like a holistic review of all the portfolio that you submitted. Then they are going to see if your work, your research background actually matches with theirs. So they are going to pick you. Like, the supervisors are going to be the ones to go through your own resume, through your portfolio, and if you suit their kind of research student or the kind of person that they want to work with based on your background, they are going to choose you. So the thing now is that you must have at least one supervisor that will pick you out, that will choose you. And if you don't have, it's best that at least 3 supervisors choose you. Like they said, okay, I want to work with this person. They said, ready to interview. Is either they are going to go through your portfolio and then they either ready to interview or not ready to be interviewed. So that is what you're going to be seeing in the coming days: ready to be interviewed or not ready to be interviewed, right? So once you see like ready to be interviewed like 3 times, you are safe. Or if you see it at least once from a supervisor, you are safe. But if you do not, if no supervisor chooses you, then you are out of the scholarship race. You cannot move on against the third stage. Let me come back again, right? What I'm saying is that at this point, the supervisors will be the ones to choose you. You cannot do anything. So they are going to go through your portfolio, and then if they like your kind of research or your background of research, your background of study and everything, they are going to choose you. And you are going to be very lucky if at least 3 will pick you. But if none of them pick you at all, like none of them at all, not ready to be interviewed, not ready, then you are out of the scholarship race, because you cannot do anything, you cannot influence anything. So for those that are coming for the PhD, it means that you cannot even influence your choice of university. You cannot influence your choice of who picks you or not. You are basically at their beck and call, at their mercy, at the supervisor's mercy. So if that is why it's very good to put up a very good SOP. First of all, you go through the research supervisors and see what they are doing, and then you pick them, so that you stand a very big chance to be picked from the pool. Yeah. So let's now assume that the second part of the interview, the preparation for the interview, is that, so if 3 people pick you up from the pool, the many supervisors, then you are now ready for the interview. You are now going to be the one to go and choose the time that you want to be interviewed. They are going to drop the date of the interview under your name and under the supervisor's name, And once they do the names there, they're going to drop certain times of the day as well. So you are now at they are now at your mercy. You pick the date that best suits you for your own interview. So, and I want those of you that are outside of Moscow, if they use Moscow time, you should always check the time difference and when it's going to be best for you to have your interview. So you're going to choose the time that best suits you for that interview. So on that day, the interview lasts for, it's scheduled to last for 30 minutes, but sometimes it could last less, or depending on what the supervisor is actually asking you, both of you are discussing. And on that day, the supervisor will be around. One person from Open Doors is also going to be in the background. And sometimes, in my first interview, I had like 3 people. I could see 3 people. They were not talking. It was just me and the supervisor. But I guess they were taking notes and all of that. So I had like 3 people. In my second, I had like 4 people. Yeah. So I got someone that picked me from my current university, from Kazan, and from Chelyabinsk, from Susu. Yeah, 3 supervisors actually. They picked me. Yeah. So I chose the time that was suitable for me to prepare for all 3 interviews. So what does the interview now entails? So on the day of the interview, it also depends on the supervisor on what they are going to ask you. My first interview, the woman was from Kazan, and she had a background in cancer research. And she first asked me if what did she ask me? She asked me if I know any chemistry researcher from that school, Kazan University. A researcher, a renowned chemist from Kazan University. And then after that, she now asked me what I know about cancer research. What do I know? What's my background related to this research? And then she told me what she's currently working on and all of that. Then she also asked me that they do not pay so well. Do I think I want to come to this UC university even though they don't pay so well? So I think that at that point you have to just let them know how much you are just passionate about research and all of that. And just be real as well to yourself and all. Yeah, so that was how my first interview went. So it's basically, what is your name? Where are you from? What was your where did you do your first degree? And do you like this research? And the only technical question that I think I started a little was that, do I know any renowned researcher from Kazan University? Hey, good. Yeah. And then in my second interview, it was basically based on my knowledge, which is the supervisor I picked now. He asked me in-depth things about chemistry. He asked me what characterization methods will I use to characterize materials at the surface of a material, at the middle of a material, at the bottom of my material. I have a background in chemistry. What do I want to go to in material science? In my past research, what did I do, and what do I think is the relationship between these? He drilled me. He wanted me to know if I actually have theoretical knowledge of the whole chemistry and material science, which is why it's very good to study, because there is no one way towards the whole thing. And then he didn't even ask me what's your name, nothing. He first started with, you are studying chemistry, why do you want to do material science? And then, okay, what characterization methods do you know? Okay, if I want to characterize the matter on the surface, and if I want to bombard materials, if I want to, it was basically based on knowledge, and it was fast. And I'm just very happy that there was a field that was coming from. So I was answering him, and he just kept nodding his head. He was so impressed. That's why it's very good to study, right? To have from a pool of knowledge. Yeah. So that was my experience with my second interview. So after that, the call just ended. And then in my third interview was from the man from Susu. He was so kind, he was so nice. He just asked me that, do I want to do battery research? That's the research that he's currently doing. So I was like, yes, that I've always loved renewable research and all. He now said, okay, that they don't pay well there. Do I think I want to do it? In my research there, I said, yes, I want to. And then he said that Why so? And they have opportunity to go for an exchange program in Spain. And he was just telling me about the opportunities that I will have if I come to work with him and all of that. So there are no two ways about how the research could go. It depends on the researcher, the research supervisor that is ready to interview you. Just prepare yourself, have a good knowledge of what you're applying for, so that in case a supervisor asks you about that knowledge, you would know. And once a supervisor says agree to pick you up, I feel like it is very important for you to at least go there and know what the person is working on, and have at least a good knowledge of that research, because at that point, they'll choose you based on what they have seen. You cannot choose them. They'll be the ones to choose you. So immediately after the interview, they are going to say accepted. They are going to say accepted to supervise. I've forgotten the word. Ready to supervise. I think either ready to supervise or recommended or not ready to supervise. Yeah, so if they were impressed, they'll say ready to be supervised. I think that's the word. But even if it is not, it's just something like that. Like they have accepted you. And then second one, they'll recommend you for admission. That is, they were not so impressed, but they recommend you for admission. And then the last one is that the person is going to say no. I wasn't impressed, so no, I'm not ready to be interviewed. Whoa, be tied on to you. If none of them refuse to supervise you, you are also out of the interview of the Open Door Scholarship race. You have to reapply. But if at least one accepts you, they are also now at your mercy. You are now going to go there and say you can either accept or decline. So once you accept, congratulations, you have now gotten the Open Door Scholarship, because they are going to now publish your name, that you have now gotten the Open Door Scholarship because you have a research supervisor, right? So that's basically all about the Open Door Scholarship third stage. Yes, and then those of you that they will now say recommended for admission, you are now going to be the one to look for supervisors by yourself. You can maybe go to that search from a school and ask for any supervisor that is ready to interview you. It's just like Open Doors giving you like a second chance. So if you get a supervisor that wants to interview you, Open Doors will now set another interview session between the both of you. The person accepts you, welcome back into the race. The person declines, hula, bye. Or if you also do not have any supervisor to interview you, even though they recommend you for admission, you will be out of the race. Yeah, so that's basically it. I told you guys, so let me just recap because it's a lot of information. Immediately your names are published, you cannot do anything. The supervisors will be the one to pick you, and at least you should be able to have 3 people to pick you. But even if you have 2, it's okay. If you have 1, just be praying. Some people will have 1. Be praying that somebody accepts. And once they're accepting, you're declining, you will see it. Then you'll be seeing it there in your portal. So there's nothing to be worrying yourself about. You just be seeing it there, ready, decline. You're seeing it there. You're seeing your feet there. But if you have at least you should have 1 person that's ready ready to interview. So if you do not have anybody, you are out. If you have at least 1, that means you can go on. You can now go and choose a date that is best for you to have that interview, and then on that day the supervisor will supervise you, and there is no one way for the interview. There is no one structure. Depends on what the supervisor wants to see, the kind of question he's asking you, and all of that. But just prepare, and have an open mind. Then after that, they are now at your mercy. You can now go. If maybe 3 people accept you, can now go and pick the one that you want, and all of that. So you can just go to your portal now. Now that even the list is not out, you can already see that there is like the program. You see what you're expecting. At least it's not supposed to last more than 30 minutes. You see what to expect and all of that. You see the program of the interview with heads of research project, they call HP. You can also see the structure of the video presentation there for you to see. The structure is there, and then you can see the list of research projects. So once you accept that, you're always going to see the link in your portal, your portal there, open doors portal there. So on that day, just try to log in before time and get ready for your interview. And don't worry, it's usually not difficult at all. Some people don't even ask you about, like I told you, there's no one wait for the interview. So guys, I'm rushing because I actually have exams today by 6 p.m. So that's why I'm rushing through the video. But I just needed to make this a video so that you can have that mental mindset, you know, towards preparing for your third stage of the open door scholarship. Just have stable internet and, you know, come with an open mind. Read. I always tell you guys, read and pray, because in the first stage you cannot influence anything. The supervisors will pick you. They'll have to be the ones to choose you. You cannot choose anyone in the first stage. Yeah, so just pray and have an open mind. And you all know that I wish you the best, the very best. I'm rooting for all of you. And don't forget to let me know if any of you get the scholarship, because I'll be so happy to help you guys out in the next stage. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking about, you know, how to go about translating your documents and, you know, filling your forms and all of that. So welcome to a new dispensation and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Bye.